What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to finally switch things up. Now, the whole time I've been talking about nutrition throughout every video on my channel, but today we're going to finally talk about training. Now, as this is my first time talking about training, I don't really want to go straight into individual areas like best training splits, reps and sets and so on. I just want to talk a bit off the top of my head and what really matters to me, and how I go about explaining training to clients or even just random people who want to understand how they want to attack their goals through training. Now, for some these might be very basic reminders, but I think sometimes we lose our way in progress. We get through a phase of getting a lot of results, but then months later we start plateauing and so on, and start drifting away from systems that work for us, splits that work for us, and just move away from the basics overall. So this video is a good reminder of how to go back to the roots and how to go back to what works best and what you can start focusing on more to start getting those results again and start reaping benefits from your training. Now, as per normal guys, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, comment below if you have anything regarding training or even my previous videos, and I'll be happy to help where I can. But now that that's out of the way, let's continue with this video. Now, one thing you guys gotta remember is that your physique is a byproduct of your training and nutrition. So providing that you eat relatively low and relatively close to your maintenance, or less in case you are very overweight, and you maintain consistent training, you're always going to have some sort of athletic physique. But with that being said, no two are going to look the same if your training is different. So a runner, a bodybuilder, a strength trainer, they're not going to have the same physique. Someone might be bigger, one will be slightly leaner, on a more slimmer side. But whatever it is, your athletic shape will be based around the way you train. And this is not something that I really want to expand on more, because like I said, it's just a byproduct of your nutrition and training. Instead, I want to focus on more about why you train, what it means to you, and how you can get the best out of your training, have that longevity, keep progressing and recovering so that you can train for as long as you like. So what I mean by what training means to you is like what I just said before. It's about what your end goal is. Is it to be fitter? Is it to be stronger? Is it just more around your physique? Is it just to be healthier? Or it might even be a combination of all. But it's important you understand your goal so that you can train towards this. Now, you can have side goals where if you do want to have a much better physique, you can have a side goal of getting stronger along with it. But strength training might not be the type of training that takes up the majority of your time and energy. Now, this is not to say that your main goal will never change. And whenever it does, just stick to the training that allows you to get that best possible progress so you can reach your goal. So a perfect example would be someone that goes to the gym and trains to build the best possible physique. Now, the issue arises when you see someone deadlifting 300 kilos or squatting 200 kilos plus, leg pressing 20 plates aside and so on, and they're the people that get the most attention. And for some reason, that gets to you. Now, what this can do is derail you from your progress. It starts hindering your training because now you want to be that guy that gets the attention for how strong he is in the gym. And that's why it's just important to understand that this is not your goal. So attempting these types of lifts aren't really going to get you progressing anywhere to where you want to be. You see, being stronger, getting stronger is part of progression, but it's how you lift or what exercises you do to become stronger at and how you execute it. These are all different variables that play a part in your goals. For example, if you're a bodybuilder, you don't really need to squat, you don't really need to deadlift. You need to focus on exercises that provide the best stimulus for your muscles. Whereas for a strength-based athlete, for a person that wants to go to powerlifting meets and so on, all these hypertrophy style trainings, isolations and so on is not really key for them. Their training is more based around how they can start squatting heavier every single time, deadlifting heavier and bench pressing heavier. These accessories are just deloads from their main type of training. Now if you're only just getting into training, you might be trying to wonder how you can start. Like, where do you start from? What equipments do you use? What training split do you use? Tempos, reps, sets and so on. But this really is just a time for you to experiment. You don't really need to overthink it. Just go into the gym, find a piece of equipment, see what you enjoy. Do you like the stimulus of lifting heavier weights? Do you like the burn and the pain that comes with high metabolic style training, which is high reps and sets and just pure intensity? You just spend a few weeks, maybe even a month, just training with different reps, using different machines, and just see what gives you the most excitement and build your goals around that. And then, like I said, your goals can always change. But at the start, when you're beginning, you just want to treat it like a playground and just play with any equipment and just get comfortable with your surroundings. Now, if we're talking about progressing with your training, you cannot skip over nutrition and recovery. Because for progression, longevity, performance, if your nutrition and recovery is not up to standards, you just won't be able to progress in any way. You see, your training creates adaptations that you're looking for. Adaptations are basically changes that you want to see in your body. So if you lift heavy weight, the adaptations you want from this is to become stronger. Now, programming to keep becoming stronger and keep progressing in your training is a very hard thing to do as it is. But with poor nutrition and recovery, it is pretty much impossible. You see, there will come a time when you do need to change programs to ensure you recover from your current program. So in a sense, deload. And there might even come a time where you need to take a complete break from training. But none of these will take over the time that you do need to recover during the days that you train. So when it comes to recovery outside nutrition, I'm talking about something that you guys might know. Your body switches from two states throughout the day. One is your sympathetic state and the other is your parasympathetic state. So your sympathetic state is basically where your body is under stress and it goes into something called fight or flight mode. And when it's in a parasympathetic state, is basically in rest and digest mode. It's in a very relaxed state, and it's the best time for your body to start processing, metabolizing and using nutrients. And it's the parasympathetic state that you want your body to be in mostly throughout the day. You want your body to be in a sympathetic state when it comes to training because you're putting your body under lots of stress. So you want it to function under these kind of conditions. But outside of that, once your training ends, you want to drop into a parasympathetic state as soon as you can so that you can begin the recovery process. And what happens is when your stress levels dominate throughout the day, it leads to poor quality sleep, which leads to continued stress throughout the next day. And you can see this is a very vicious cycle, and it's a very damaging one and very detrimental to your health. So it's something that I want you guys to really start focusing on and optimizing and creating systems and ways in which you can start relaxing a little bit more so that the quality of life, the quality of training can improve. So that's what I have for this video, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to do a brief outline of what I see training as and what needs to be focused more on training and around training. Things like sets, reps, tempos, training splits is something that I will start talking about, but it's not something that I wanted to talk about first. So please guys, if you like this video, be sure to give it a like, be sure to subscribe to my channel, comment below on anything that you found interesting on what I had to say, or anything, any leading questions that you might have. I'll be happy to answer them, and let's start living that parasympathetic state of life. I'll see you guys in the next one.